Hi everybody. Welcome to another one of our consumer tech videos. I am Paige Libbert. I'm one of the consumer technology specialists here at Mid-Continent Public Library. And today we are going to talk about Ferguson's Career Guidance Center. So kind of a focus on everybody who's going back to work or maybe looking for a new position. It's an awesome resource for that. So what we're going to cover today, a little bit about what Ferguson's Career Guidance Center is, how to access it, and then some of those awesome tools that are within it. And then what you're going to need. So if you want to go and use this resource later on, you're going to need your computer or a mobile device. You can use this on the web browser on your mobile device. It'll just look a little scrunched up. You're going to need internet access. This does require Wi-Fi or an internet connection of some kind. And then just kind of a willingness to explore and learn. There's a lot of articles and videos and things within this resource. So it's not just a straightforward, here's how to write a resume. There's a lot of kind of theory and practice and stuff behind it. And then you may need your access pass and PIN. So when I get in there and go look at it, it's not going to ask me to log in with my library information, but it may ask you when you are on your home network. So just be prepared with your library card number and your PIN, which should be your 8-digit birthday. So we're just going to jump right into it. So here I am on the MCPL webpage. And there's a couple of different ways you can get to Ferguson's without too much effort. So I'm going to come up here to the research and learning. And then I'm going to click on two different things. I'm going to open the A to Z list. And I'm also going to click on browse subjects. So first I'm going to go to the A to Z list. And so I know this one's called Ferguson's. So I'm just going to click on that. And it is the very first one there. So I clicked on the F. Ferguson's Career Guidance Center is right there at the top. So that's one way to get there. The other way, and this could be useful if you're looking for a bunch of other tools, is the Browse Subjects option. If I scroll down just a little bit, you can see there's the Careers and Education spot. So if I click on View Resources, that will take me to a list of all of our resources that are good for those working on new careers or in a career or wanting to upskill. Ferguson's is on the second row here. And then I'm just going to click on it this time to open it up. Give it a second to load. And here we are. So this is Ferguson's Career Guidance Center. Over here in the top right, you can see that there is a Your Profile option. You can create your own account. You can kind of save some information here and there because there are so many articles and things. You can kind of hold on to what you've looked at and things that you may want to look at later. And that's what setting up a profile for yourself can kind of help you do. But beyond that, exploring the site itself. So there's a search. So if you have a specific search that you want to do, you can always just click up here and just search to your heart's content. So if you have something specific you're looking for, you are welcome to look for it. Other than that, you can kind of keep scrolling down through the page. They do a lot of featured things. So right now, the featured career Q&A videos. So they will literally be short videos, like 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer, talking to people who are actually in these careers and a little bit about like how they got there or how they, what they would have done differently and things like that. So it's really cool, especially if you're looking to maybe change careers or looking for a new career. Featured professionals. So these are also people who are in that field. They'll tell you a little bit about the field itself, which is pretty cool. And then you explore job search and workplace skills. So this is going to be a mix of videos kind of helping you get used to different things. So how to ask for a raise is a really good one. That's a video. And this is going to be a mix of videos and articles. So if it doesn't have a little play button, it is most likely just an article to help you kind of learn those new bits and pieces. They have featured industries. A lot of times the featured industries are things that are kind of currently fields that are showing growth or demand. So keep that in mind if you're curious about some new careers or some different fields. That's a good spot to learn. And then down at the bottom, there's the From Our Career Experts. So these are more articles and videos that are just tips and tricks on kind of getting used to careers or, doing your job search, writing resumes, writing cover letters, and that sort of thing. So I'm going to scroll back up to the top. They've conveniently kind of put a lot of their information right here on the very top for you. You've got your 4 little categories. So you have exploring careers, planning your education, preparing for your careers, and then finding your careers. So under exploring careers, lets you literally research industries. So if I wanted to I'll click on research industries. It'll take me in here. It'll show me the featured industries, but then I can just click on all industries and it will literally give me a list of everything they have information on. So if there's something specific I'm looking for, I can probably find it in here, and they will do their best to give me some information on it. It's super handy. So if I wanted to do, I don't even know. I was going to see if I could find libraries, but a lot of digging right now. So we'll just go with animation because it's right there. So if I click on animation, pops up a little article about literally finding a career in animation. And so you can kind of read through those things and get information about that field. Back up. I'm going to close it. You can also do career assessments. So if you are curious maybe what field you should go into, they do 30 and 60 question career assessments, and these are just going to be based on a little bit of personality, a little bit of preferences, kind of things that you enjoy, interests, and it'll kind of pop out some career or some path ideas for you, which is really cool and kind of handy. And then you can do find your career path. And so this is just going to be more information about like choosing career paths, how to kind of pick things that may or may not be right for you, and then how to go about quite literally finding those positions and learning more about them. Under the plan your education, so this is going to be more for, well, this is actually for anybody. It's really, really useful for anybody searching for schools, but they do tend to relate it to different career fields. But if you are curious, if you kind of get into you're exploring your careers and you're like, all right, maybe computer programming is the thing for me, you can go to the search for schools and you can just kind of look around. If you know, like, okay, I want to stay in the Midwest specifically, and check that box, I want to stay in Missouri, you can do that and it will start to kind of drop things down for you. And then you can come down here, you know you want an area, you know you want a computer and information sciences, so you can do that. Come on, check, there we go. And so that'll start to kind of kick out any schools that don't have a computer science program. And so now you can see, okay, there's quite a few in the area, and they give you an idea of how many students there are, what the tuition's going to be like, if it's a 2 or 4 year or both, what kind of school it's all about. And then, you can also do graduate schools or vocational. So if you are wanting to get into being an electrician or HVAC or any of that, they will actually do their best to give you information about schools who teach those subjects as well. And if you're going back to school for a master's or a doctorate degree, they actually have a really solid list of colleges for that as well. So once you know, you can also look for financial aid and education opportunities. So financial aid is going to be information a lot of times about those schools. They'll first give you a bunch of articles and videos about kind of what is financial aid, how to get it, ways to save money, and kind of prepare for going to school. But then they have institutional aid. So if you know, I am going to go to Avila, A-V-I-L. I know that is a school here in Kansas City. So it'll give you an idea of kind of what their average scholarships and stuff are. And then you can click on learn more to kind of get more information about the school itself, which is kind of cool. And then private aid is actually just a giant list of scholarships that you are welcome to apply for. You have to read through some of the information about them because you may or may not be applicable to receive it for whatever reason, but they are really cool. It's a really nice way to find a whole bunch of possible scholarships to earn and get some money towards going back to school. And then finally, the education opportunities one just kind of gives you a bunch of articles and a few videos about kind of preparing for college, finding colleges, choosing majors, and that sort of stuff. In the preparing for your career, they do have bits for resumes and cover letters. I'm going to open both of those. And they also have information for interviewing, networking, and workplace skills. So all of these are going to just give you articles and videos just kind of letting you hone your skills for those sort of events. So like preparing for a specific kind of interview, which is kind of cool. They do try to break it down by career field. So you can prepare for a tech skills or a tech job interview, which is going to be very different than an interview for, well, say my library job. They're going to be just a very different kind of interview because one's going to be focused more on your tech skills, while the other one might be focused more on your ability to teach or understand certain parts of the library. In the resumes tab, they do have videos and some articles about writing resumes. They do try to break it down a little bit by field. So if you need to write a resume for a tech job or for a teaching job, they try to break down how to do that. And then they have sample resumes. Now, these resumes don't get to go home with you. You can't just copy paste and then, point and click and put your information in there, but you can get a lot of really good examples. So if you know that you're going to go into, I'll come back up here, go by industry. You know that you want to go into education. It will actually churn out a whole bunch of different education-based resumes, and you can actually see like experience types. So if you're like brand new teacher, you want to do elementary ed, these are probably going to be the resumes that you want to look at. So you can just click on it, and it will bring up kind of an idea of how that resume is laid out, how it works. It's kind of just handy way to kind of get started if you're not really familiar or comfortable with writing resumes. And then cover letters is the same way. There are videos and articles kind of showing you how to write different cover letters and kind of teaching you how to market yourself in those cover letters. And then they have a series of sample cover letters, again, broken down by the field. So if you want to go into business admin, you can pick one of these three. I'm in here just to kind of read through and get an idea of what you're going to want to write or what you could want to write. And then finally, over here on the Find a Career part is the one I'm kind of excited about. I think it's really cool. Click on all of them just so you can see. So the Internships tab, again, starts you out with articles and videos kind of telling you how to find internships, what to know before you apply, and that sort of information. And then you can do an internship search. So if you are fresh out of college, or even in college and you're just searching for internships to kind of help you get that experience before you're done, you can pick a category. You can just scroll through and see everything that's there alphabetically. Or if you know, okay, I'm going to go into, I don't know, hospitality and tourism. Why not? Just so you can pick a category. You can pick sports and then coach. So you can do that, and you can see, okay, there's the Women's Basketball Coaches Association. It's 3 to 6 months. Number of interns varies. It's in Georgia. So you can kind of find that information. This was a very specific search. And it does tell you if it's paid or if there's a stipend or any of that, if it's full-time or part-time. So you can find all kinds of information about these different internships, which is really, really handy. Under the apprenticeships, it's a little bit different. There's a lot more information. It starts out again with that article, those articles and videos kind of telling you about how to find apprenticeships, what apprenticeships are. In the case of Fergusons, the apprenticeships here are focused more on trades. So places where you would have a traditional apprentice program, not so much like a tech job. Sometimes you could go in as an apprentice, but it doesn't quite fit with what Ferguson's is kind of pointing at here. So these are mostly going to be trades. So you can check the career fields. That's going to just be information about the different career fields with traditional apprenticeship programs. And then you can go to a directory. So this will bring up all the different apprenticeship options or programs that are out there in the world, or where they can often find apprenticeships. A lot of them are focused on, like I said, trades. So if I go down to view all, click on Missouri, there's 114 in Missouri. And then you can kind of scroll through and see the different places where apprenticeship programs are kind of common. And then you can look at the state offices. So if you'd like the information about the state office in Missouri, there's a whopping one. There's one in every state, pretty much. So that's just the information about how to get to the state office for the registered apprenticeships. And then finally, there's the job posting. So when you have researched all your careers, you have done the school, you have learned all there is to learn, you wrote your resume, you got your cover letter. Well, hopefully you haven't written your cover letter quite yet if you're just doing the job search. But you can come in here and you can do whatever job search you want to do. Mine is automatically set to Missouri, but if I wanted to, I can narrow that down even more to Kansas City. Maybe I want to be a librarian in Kansas City. So I can just search and I can see, okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different librarian jobs here in the Kansas City area. If I wanted to go be that assistant research librarian at Children's Mercy, I can click on that and it brings this up. They use Indeed as their primary job source or their job search source. So when you click on it, that's where it takes you. You leave Ferguson's and you go to Indeed to get all the job information. Sometimes you can apply for jobs directly in Indeed. Otherwise, it'll just give you the link out to the site where it can kind of tell you specifically how it wants you to apply. But this way you can find out the information about the job, see if you are in fact qualified, and if you're still interested in it based on the information that's there. So it's very helpful. You can change your stuff if you want to. You can do filters. So if you want to like put in a salary estimate, like I know I need to make at least 40,000, so you can do that. You can do job types. So if you want full-time only, you can clear your filters, which I just did accidentally. But you have those sort of options. So it's really, really, really handy. It's a great spot to start, especially since you can also just go back if you find something that sounds interesting, but you're not sure about the field. You can go do a quick search up here and see if there's any articles or videos about that career field and get some more information about it. So the last things I wanted to show you while I'm in here is kind of to click on this little hamburger menu on the top left. Everything that was down below in those 4 categories is still here, but then we have these 2 extra categories. We've got resources and more. So more just kind of takes you to all the career videos, their blogs, and then the resources actually break it down. You can do resources by industry, but they also give kind of some traditionally underserved groups as well. So you can find resources that are specific for women, minorities, or people with disabilities. So if I wanted to click on that, maybe, there it goes. It'll take me to specific articles dealing with kind of finding a job or locating colleges, with at least includes information about how to handle those sorts of things for people with disabilities or with people or for people with disabilities. You get my idea. And then you can go to the directory here, which is really handy, and it actually gives you information about different groups and associations that help out in different states, specific to kind of people, like helping people with disabilities find jobs or careers or colleges and schools and that sort of thing. So I just wanted to point that out as kind of a handy extra resource that they don't point out on the main page, but it is still there and incredibly helpful. So I'm going to head back to my PowerPoint and say thank you. Thank you for joining me in my little exploration of Ferguson's Career Guidance Center. I hope you learned a little bit and are kind of curious to see what else is in there. If you want to watch other videos that are like this, please join us every Wednesday and now Friday at 1 o'clock. Our Friday videos are much shorter. They're just kind of a quick introduction to some little tiny piece of tech, while the Wednesday videos remain a little bit longer. They'll premiere at 1 o'clock on our MCPL 360 Facebook page. And then if you would like to watch this video again, or any of our other videos later on, you can find it on the Mid-Continent Public Library YouTube channel. We have put all of our videos in a playlist that I believe is called the MCPL Consumer Tech Resources. So you can go back through and watch any and all of our videos at any time on YouTube. And yeah, thank you for joining me yet again, and I hope you guys have